In this video, we're going to discuss how not to sell your silver unless you absolutely need to. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're getting very close to 1,000 subscribers. I need a little bit of extra help. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I thank you to all the ones that have already subscribed to my channel. Let's just get into the video right now. You know, people have been coming in, and either the two types of people really are selling are really the ones that are uneducated or the ones that really need to sell because of job loss. We try at the shop to, the ones that don't really need to sell, to educate them on their silver and gold and even platinum at times if they happen to have platinum. I don't see too many people trying to sell platinum at this time. It's really mostly silver. It's some gold. You know, I had a woman that came in about a week ago, I guess it was. She was probably about in the 40s, and she had a bunch of Franklin halves, and she had a few walk-ins mixed in, and we really needed them, I mean, for the shop, because they're getting harder and harder to find. And so I told her, I said, do you have a few minutes? She said, yeah, I got a few minutes. So I bring her out in the back. I had the shop owner with me at this time, and she had about 8 rolls of them. And we just told her, you know, this is the best stuff to hang on to right now is your 90% silver. And she was a little worried about, you know, the dollar collapse and whatnot. But she didn't really have a clue of what she had because her father just passed away a few months back ago. And so we kind of told her, you know, we have to explain to people, and that's what I'm trying to do here. It's, you know, try to explain to what the value of silver is, what the value of his gold is. Go back to the 1940s and look what stuff cost back in the 1940s. Go back to the 50s. Go back to the 60s when silver was actually used in our change. And that may bring a light on somebody else out there. So if you have somebody that you're trying to talk about silver and gold, a couple tips: put some silver, 90% silver in their hands. If you're from Canada, put the 80% silver. If you're from another country, whatever coinage you have out there, or maybe you don't have the silver in the coin content, put a 5-ounce bar in their hands. Put a 10-ounce bar in their hands. If you don't have either one of those, go to the coin shops and talk to the coin shop owners or the staff. You know, they're always ask questions. You know, I had a comment in the video, you know, someone didn't really know what 90% silver was for. And so, you know, we always, and I try to explain the best as I can, it's for smaller purchases. If, not really if, it's really when the dollar collapses. You know, we may really start using this stuff for trade. And you don't want to give up an ounce of silver by doing it if you're don't need that much silver. You know, silver could be 80, 85 bucks, $100 just down the road. I mean, who really knows what's going to happen? Because I sure don't. But I know I am stacking right now. I am really going back to the 90% silver right now, and I think it's the best bang for the buck right now. So keep stacking in 90%. You know, it's nice to get these like 5-ounce rounds. You know, they're nice, yeah, but you're going to pay a little bit more of a premium on them as well. Yeah, they come in, you know, if you want to pay for the case, I've said that before, you're going to pay $2 or $3 for the case. I highly recommend picking up the case for an extra couple bucks. You know, yeah, you're going to pay a little bit more for this. But, you know, really, think about when you shop, the next time you go out to the store. Do I really need this? Do I really need to buy this right now? How much silver is this going to take me? I've said that in past videos. I'll keep continuing to say it. You know, then we got the people who come into the shop and buy too much. Or they go in to say, oh, silver is a pet rock. Well, they're listening to the wrong people if they think silver and gold, and excuse me, even platinum is a pet rock. You know, people just, you know, we have to keep training people, keep teaching. We all have to keep teaching people. And please, if you're one of those people who say, I'm going to pass it on to my relatives after I pass on, fine. I got no problem with that. I highly recommend, before you do pass on, and that's what you want to do, is leave it to your kids, your grandkids, whoever it may be. Educate them. Because if you don't educate them, and when you do pass away, it will become a problem for the person who you left it to, because that person will probably going to go into a coin shop and say, I don't know nothing about this stuff. You don't want your relatives or your friends to say that to a coin shop at all. I mean, we hear that quite often. And we're trying to tell people, okay, we realize you don't know anything, but we're not going to take advantage of you. Some shops will take advantage of that situation. Most shops, or most coin shops, there's a lot of bad perspective about coin shops. Coin shops rip me off. No, most coin shops are not going to rip you off. Okay, they're just not going to rip you off when you sell. Now, if you have something like this, yeah, this is a little bit more of a premium. Some shops, they're not going to pay for the design on the coin itself. This happens to be a coin. It's from Australia. It's from 2020, $1 face in Australian money. They're going to pay for the silver inside. This would be a better product to sell at a flea market, a yard sale, or even eBay. But remind yourselves, eBay will take their fees too. Shops have to make their money too. If you come in with something, let me get one of these out here for you. I'll keep talking. Now, if you came on something like this to the shop I work for, you're probably going to get melt for it, because it's got that toning on the back. Yeah, some people love the toning on the back, but you're probably going to get melt, maybe a little bit more than melt, because the front actually cleaned up pretty nicely. And I mean, it's just the supply and demand. Right now we're paying, as of July 12th of this recording of this video, we're paying everything over melt right now. Come next week, that could change, but we've been on this pattern over melt the last several months. Some coin shops are paying less than melt right now. They may not have the money to pay out, or the sales are slow for them for whatever reason, or the item you're bringing in, they have too much of. It's about supply and demand. You don't have to go into a coin shop and accept their offers. You just don't. Just politely say, no, thank you, I'll pass it this time, and move on. When it's time to sell, you have to know, A, what you have, B, what the value of that piece is, and the best place to find the value of that piece, go on eBay. Even if you're not buying nothing, okay? I don't care if you don't buy nothing off of eBay. Even if you're not buying, look at sold listings. That will give you an idea what that piece of silver or gold is currently selling for over the last several months. 90 days, 120 days, the last 30 days. If it's sold, they will have a sold listing for it. And you'll be surprised sometimes what people are actually willing to pay for some of this stuff. Now, if I would have put this on eBay, I would probably get a little bit more money, because it's that toning on the back. Because people like that toning. People will pay up for that. But as shop owners are not willing to take a chance and waiting for someone to come in and having this sit on their shelf for 6-7 months, waiting for the right buyer to come in. It's about flipping the items quickly. So, I mean, it's really hard to say what your shop's gonna pay for, what an online bullion dealer is willing to swap it out for or buy it from you for. It takes time to list on eBay. That's one downfall about. Listen, you gotta have packaging to mail it. You got to have the time to make the listing, and you gotta have the time to take questions if someone has a question on your specific item. Another option is, you can go to a flea market and sell down there when it's the time for you to sell. But remember, you're not going to have the broad scope of like eBay or a coin shop, a quicker sell. And you would really want to lock this stuff up at a flea market, and that will require you to get some cases with some locks on it and tie it around the table, so they don't take the whole case on you. And that requires some money too. That will be some expense there for you too. And remember, the table costs to rent the table too. Another option would be maybe selling it at like an antique store, if they're allowed to sell silver and gold there in cases. But keep in mind, they're going to be like $140 a month to rent one of those out. So there's a cost of everything, of buying and selling. But the main point is, if you don't need to sell right now, just don't. Not the time to sell. If you lose your job, if you do need to sell some, You don't have to sell it at all one time. You can cost that average out too. Okay, you can cost that average out like you cost average out buying. But if you need something, if you need like 25 bucks for the gas and you're just that broke, okay, fine, bring in an ounce of silver. We will get you the $25 plus, you know, for your gasoline, or another coin shop will. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to sell it all at once. So if you know anybody's trying to sell, try to talk them out of it. Try to find out why they want to sell, and let's try to let's all help each other out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. There's some good responses back from some of the comments I've received already from you all. So thank you for watching. I hope this really helps you out. It's not an easy, you know, not easy to sell your silver. You know, I see some depressing stories, and you know, they lost their jobs or their family member dies and they don't know nothing. That's the big boy for me right there. If you're hearing this video, that means you're still alive and you're passing it down. Please let the people know you want to give it to ahead of time, and let them know what you have. And really, if you really don't want to do that, keep an updated book on the cost of silver, of what you paid for it, if you still have that information, and really keep an update log of what the stuff is going for at that present time. Every 6 months is good enough. So I really hope that this information helps. Thank you all for watching. Coin Shop Chris is out.